panel training for the Back Home study. Before we jump in to the functionality of the admin panel, I want to point out a few things. First is the URL. I'm giving this training using what we call our internal stage or multi-branch environment. This is an entirely different URL than where the stage and live study admin panel will be accessed. So you will receive a separate URL for the admin panel on stage and yet another URL link for the admin panel on production. Second, all admins must request an account using the Request Admin Account button. You will need to request an account on the Stage Admin panel as well as the Production Admin panel. During the account request, you will be led to set up two-factor authentication through Duo on your smartphone. After you have completed your account request, you will have to wait to be approved by your study manager. Study managers will receive additional training on how to approve admin accounts. Each time that you log into your admin account, you will be prompted by Duo to certify the login by responding to a push message. Just like the screen shown here. Please select the Send Me a Push notification, as this is the preferred method of authentication. I just received a push notification on my phone, which I accepted, and now we are in the Back Home admin panel. This is the home page. On your admin panel, you should have the following features: participants, DocuSign, messages, reports, and settings. These features are also available as a shortcut item here. I have a couple of additional features which you might not have because I have access to a number of studies on the Eureka platform. Let's go ahead and jump into the functionalities of the admin panel by starting off with the participants section. Here we see a list of all participants who have signed up for the Back Home study. We see information at a bird's eye view. We can also use this search toolbar to search for a particular participant by ID, name, email, or other identifying factors. Below, there is a dashboard that provides information on the total number of users, the number of active users. Active is defined as the number of users who have not withdrawn from the study, the number of consented users, and confirmed users. Confirmed users is defined as the number of users who have confirmed their email address on the Eureka platform. This is not a requirement. In the columns, we have participant ID, which is analogous to Eureka ID, name, email, date of birth, active, consented, date consent signed, confirmed, and the handoff tool. The handoff tool is used to jump into a specific participant's account and complete information for that participant. We do not encourage the use of this tool unless there are extenuating circumstances. And there is a change log column, which you can go ahead and disregard. Let's begin by clicking the Eureka ID. Let's take a look at this participant. In this area, you can update a participant's name or email address. This is typically done in the event of a typo during registration. You can also change a participant's password. Participants can change their own password on the Eureka app or the website, but sometimes it is easier to help participants directly and share the new password with them. To make a change to the name, email, or password, type in the correct field and then scroll down to hit Save. On the top right-hand corner, we see two checkboxes. The first is for confirmed email. You won't see this checked often, since Eureka does not require an email address to be confirmed. The second checkbox is how you can mark a participant as a test user. Only mark participants as test if you truly know they are indeed test users. By marking someone as a test user, this filters the user out of study maintenance reports and study data exports. It also prevents study messages from being sent. If you are on the admin panel on stage, you do not need to mark your test users as test because it is implied, since you are on a test environment. If you're on production, please make sure that you do mark your test users as test. If you don't, that could skew your data. If you make any changes here, please select Save to save those changes. In the box labeled Status, you can hover over the tooltips to learn about the different statuses that a participant can have. Most participants will be active. If someone wishes to withdraw from the study, you will need to update the radio button to withdrawn and then scroll down to hit Save. No need to do anything in the consent area. I'll demonstrate where to find a participant's consent in a moment, or the referral area. Let's navigate back to the participants section by clicking on the Participants tab. By clicking on the participant's name, the participant's individual profile is loaded. The first tab is Basic Information. We see the participant's contact information, and we can also see how and if they consented. An e-consent is a consent where the participant just hits agree or disagree, while DocuSign is used when a participant needs to provide a full signature. Both e-consent and DocuSign forms can be downloaded from the admin panel. The second tab is the Activity tab. This tab outlines where a participant is in the study. Our system groups activities by e-visits. So, e-visit 1 is the first collection of activities. By clicking on the blue section Names, you'll see an accordion-style drop-down of all the activities within the section. A gray circle means the activity is open. A green check mark means the activity has been completed. A red X, which is not shown, means that the activity has expired. When a new e-visit of activities is available for a participant, they will be visible here. Some activities have an expiration date. If an activity does not expire, there will not be an expiration timestamp here. Let's navigate to Messages. The Messages tab holds a log of all messages sent to participants. In the BACKHOME study, participants may receive email and SMS messages. Currently, messages have not been configured for the BACKHOME study, which is why they're not showing up here. Messages in the queue shows a list of messages that the participant may receive if the right conditions are met. The messages in the queue page is cryptic and could be a training video on its own. It is mostly used for troubleshooting. The only important area that I'm going to point out here is the to be sent column, all the way in the right. With knowledge of the study's message configuration and using the to be sent column, you can check in on when a particular participant will get their next message. Again, this area is cryptic. We don't expect most coordinators to need to be able to understand this fully. Now, I'm going to jump over to the Messages tab in the Admin Panel navigation. This page outlines all the reminder messages for the study. It shows the message type, so push, SMS, or email, as well as showing the content of messages, and the conditions that need to be met in order for the message to be sent. This tab is also cryptic if you're not familiar with all the activities in the study. Again, because messages have not been configured for BACKHOME at this moment, BACKHOME messages are not showing up. Okay, let's go back to the participant. We're back in the individual participant's profile, looking at LEAF. We've gone over basic information, activity, messages. We'll skip health data, notes, pin messages, coordinator forms. And the last item we're going to touch on in the Participants tab is coordinator proxy data entry. Coordinator proxy data entry is used to enter data on behalf of a participant. The surveys available in this tab are the exact surveys that are available for the participant to take themselves. So we can see that the demographic survey is showing up here as well. Participants can take these surveys for BACKHOME either in the mobile app or on the study website. You might use coordinator proxy data entry if you're on the phone with the participant and asking the questions interview style and need to record their answers. I can also imagine coordinator proxy data entry being used in person, perhaps interviewing and recording answers for someone who does not have a smartphone or reliable internet access. The exact situation for using coordinator proxy data entry will likely evolve with your study. The most important things to understand is that you are taking the survey on behalf of the participant and your name as the coordinator will be documented as the one who submitted the survey. Currently, since this participant only has one survey available and they've already completed the survey, we cannot demo the coordinator proxy data entry feature. However, please take some time when you're testing on stage to review how the coordinator proxy data entry feature works. It's pretty simple. Next, we're going to go back up to the top of the navigation panel and I'm going to select DocuSign. This lists all the active DocuSign forms, and by clicking the Eureka ID, you can route to the participant profile to download the form. Now, I'm going to jump to the Reports section. In the reports, there are two sections. The first is Study Maintenance Reports. In this collection, the reports are designed to help you manage your study. You'll see an eligibility report, recruitment, user contact, and you'll also see summary reports of some files. Again, these reports are not run in real time. Instead, they update nightly around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is important to note because if you're looking for a specific participant in a report and they are not present, the first thing to think about is the report runtime. If reports have not run yet, new participants or new actions from that day are not expected to be in the report yet. If a participant joins or completes activities after 5 p.m., They will not be in the report that ran at 5. You will have to wait for the next iteration. This is true for study maintenance reports as well as study data exports. Study data exports provide information about your participant surveys. Unlike the data reports, everything in the participant's full view and their individual view is in real time. It's only these reports that update nightly. We've gone over the data reports at length. However, it is still my recommendation that you download the reports and start playing with them.